Take my breath, take my breath away. Take it away, take it away.
At first I thought you were doing Take On Me.
Take my breath, take it away, take me on.
Did you guys think also that this was a surprisingly competent script?
You stole my critique, Marvin.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, we went into this knowing, or like with the setup, at least I was primed, having been told that it was a surprisingly like well done porn parody.
It's like
I'm sorry. Wait, did we all watch something different? I didn't watch. No, I'm kidding.
Well, just to preface real quick, we watched Star Trek TNG: A Tale of Two Cities,
also known colloquially, or actually, it's probably more accurate to the spine of the DVD, Star Trek: The Next Generation, a XXX parody.
Yeah, that's the subtitle for it. Yeah, and then I don't know why it's called A Tale of Two Cities.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, here's the confusing thing. Why do they call them subtitles, and then they also call the title a subtitle? Do you mean?
That's true.
Is it a subheading?
We should really get
Subheader?
together with the United Nations and figure this out, dude.
Yes.
And why
just them.
why closed captioning? What is a subtitle versus closed captioning?
We should change it. We should call them translator words. Translator words for subtitles, like when you're reading a different language, or closed captioning, same thing. Closed captioning and subtitles should be the same thing. Translator words. Because sometimes you're watching an English show and you're like, oh, I don't know what they're saying. I should put on the subtitles. And then the subtitle should be like Mission Impossible 8, Rogue Nation.
Dead Reckoning.
Rogue Nation is a subtitle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, am I wrong?
Subheading, subtitle.
I mean, the English
subheader.
language has a lot of these double.
Flammable means inflammable means
And here's the thing,
flammable. What
the
a
English
country!
language is stupid, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
that's what I
another
presuppose.
example. What it would be. Well, XXX is also a wrestler, but also
No, Triple
But-
H.
Yeah, XXX is a movie
God
starring
damn
Vin
it,
Diesel.
Sarah.
Triple
God
X
damn it.
is Triple X is
Oh
Vin
my
Diesel
God.
and also Ice Cube. Again,
Oh
what
my
a country!
God.
I like how
Wait
she
a
came.
minute.
I like how she came in cocky.
was-
She's like, guys. Well, listen up, guys. XXX is a wrestler from the WWE.
To
And
be
he's like,
fair, wrestling often has such
I was
childish
very
names.
confident in my
Like
answer.
one of the original competitors to the WWE was TNA, Total Nonstop Action. Sure,
Yeah.
that's why you named it TNA.
Oh, okay. I have a good one. Speaking of WWE, that's
Oh, I thought you were going
Or
to say,
F.
speaking of TNA.
WWE could be World's Wrestling Entertainment or
Yes, that's what WWE
World Wildlife.
No, that's what WWF.
No, that was WWF.
Yeah,
F,
WWF
F, F, sorry,
sued because
God damn it. F
Here we go again.
Federation.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh my God. I can't
Stay in your
even-
lane, Sarah.
You shut up, dude. Yeah,
Start over. I'm
you're
really
not cool.
off.
You don't know wrestling.
yeah, dude.
I try. I clearly don't know wrestling.
We've been watching a documentary on Netflix called Wrestlers, which is fascinating. But it's
Yes.
about OVW, or Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is like...
Which I also keep saying OVN for some reason. I don't know.
OVN is who you see for your birth control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
your
isn't
birth
that
control.
the
yeah.
Isn't OVN also no?
The
That's
Ovation
AVN.
Network.
AVN is adult video.
I thought OVN is also the Ovation Network.
OVN
think
is what
so,
is
yeah.
what. Yeah, you get it every month. The ladies get it every month.
Yeah.
OVN.
But yeah, we ended up watching not the actual full porn parody.
Hey, may the April Fools be with you as well.
Well, we
Yes.
couldn't. So
Happy April Fools, everybody.
after we found, and so after Sarah and I watched the fan edit, which we'll link the YouTube link to it. Someone has kindly put together the original.
Shout him out, dude.
Oh yeah, it is put by Dan Armitage on their YouTube channel. And I don't know if they did the actual edit, they might have, but they kind of recut it together, not just to cut out the porn scenes, but to also like create like a title sequence for it. They grabbed it from like a German version of the TNG episode for some reason.
So this is all kinds of illegal. I'm
This is
hearing.
hyper. It's possible he did the German version so it doesn't get flagged on YouTube. So that
Maybe.
might be why.
Mhm.
Because it's clearly still up on YouTube. And if you try to find, because after we saw this, Sarah and I were trying to find the full porn version. It's surprisingly difficult to find.
We found a trailer.
We found a bunch of trailers, but
Kind of.
in order to get it, it seems like the only legitimate way is to spend $25 to have a DVD shipped to you.
Well, why don't we
Yeah.
do that and really
We-
support these people, dude?
I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just saying that we couldn't look at it
mean,
right away. We had to-
ExpressVPN's gonna fund this one, dude. I say we send the bill to them.
we
and
could,
say-
yeah. Or
yeah,
extra. Let's see.
yeah,
Let's have them fight over it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I,
how many?
I do want to note though that this fan edit brought it down to 27 brisk minutes,
Mhm.
Yep.
whereas
Yes.
the original runtime of the full parody was an hour 52 minutes.
What?
I was gonna say, we're missing 30
Um,
minutes of porn. I didn't realize we're missing an hour and a half of porn.
We're missing
Holy-
nearly an hour and a half of porn
Here's the problem. Can I
across
okay.
5 scenes
First
that were
of
cut
all-
out.
Look, if you haven't caught on by now, we're doing the course the we're gonna run through the abridged version of the porn edit. But
Yes.
here's the thing: we should at least give them $25. I'll pitch in.
Oh yeah.
This is some high quality shit, dude.
It
Now,
was.
Yeah.
I don't know what parts this homie like added in from the original show.
Only the title
title
sequence.
sequence.
That was the fan edit. The original did
okay.
not have the title sequence because.
Okay,
But I believe the shot of the ship flying.
yeah.
I think that's that's Sam Hain, who is the writer and director of the porno parody. I think that's his ship model that they
Yeah,
then
it looks like a picture of a toy.
They took a
First
scan of.
First of all,
and then-
no one says porno anymore, dude. They're sex workers, dude.
they're
there's-
porn workers too.
They're sex entrepreneurs and they're sex entertainers, dude. Come on, dude.
But I'm just surprised, like how much. There's a few details here and there
Oh,
that are
that's
like,
great.
oh, it's weird. Like the comm badges are just ovals, and I guess at the beginning when they're scanning, they're shooting phasers into the floor to scan, which is a bit odd. But a lot of the details are otherwise like, yeah, that makes sense if you had that budget. I mean,
Yeah, for the most part, it's fairly accurate to what Star Trek
the
to be.
characterizations are pretty accurate.
This was
Yeah.
made in 2011, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I'm surprised it's that recent. I thought it was.
So okay,
yeah.
I ended up going down a bit of a research rabbit hole for this.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, dude. Went down a lot of holes.
Here's the thing: we are not alone in recognizing this thing's quality.
Mhm,
This
mhm,
thing, the guy who played Data, Xander Corvus,
mhm.
was voted the best newcomer of the year at the AVN Awards that year.
Oh.
As well as he won the best supporting actor award for this very parody.
Oh wow. Good job. His name is
And
Corvus?
not only that, but the person who played Dr. Brahms in this parody,
Brahms, boy.
Bobby Starr, was also voted the best female performer of the year following the
Wow.
release of this parody.
Wow.
So this was a star-studded parody, and it was well respected by all.
I mean, it's almost a legit episode. Like
Yeah,
there's
it just needs more budget and more competent acting. But
Yeah,
it's,
but even
it's
then,
mostly
like,
there. Yeah.
their acting's not horrible. I've seen
Yeah,
worse
it's not
acting on
terrible.
TNG. So it's not completely unacceptable, but I'm just like
No, I would say this is better than some Star Trek episodes.
I was
for
impressed
sure.
by how much Riker came through in just a few lines.
yeah, it's true. Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
he only said a couple of things, but he said it in a very Riker way, and I was like, wow, that's actually not bad.
and it's also like it's
wasn't
clearly a
bad.
script written by a frustrated fan.
Yes.
Because like a similar frustration we've all had is that
Do you
Tasha
mean frustrated because all he wanted to see is them fucking?
yes.
Yeah.
yes.
No,
Frustrated in wanting the story to go a certain way and frustrated by just wanting to see
But, like,
the sex scenes.
because we've all had the same complaint of
Yeah, there's not enough fucking on the show. Yeah, we have
well,
the same-
Tasha had a great ending in yesterday's Enterprise,
a happy ending.
and then they fucked it up by bringing her back as Commander Sela in Redemption and
Yeah,
making that version of her a chump. So
who
this,
died unceremoniously off screen.
Yeah, so this is like a way of trying to keep that in canon, but then reconciling it. Like, it's kind of fascinating how...
Yeah, like, they kind of, like, comb it over by saying, well, Sela lies. She's a liar, and that's
she's
fine.
a piece of shit. She's a liar. Yeah. Which is totally fine. Because Romulans lie constantly. Yeah. Like, nothing about this felt untrue. Everything rang true for the way the characters were... Their dialogue was, at least.
You know, I was impressed by how succinctly they were able to summarize, like, her timeline bullshit.
Yes.
They did it so fast.
This has better pacing than a lot of TNG episodes.
But they have to be brisk.
Marvin,
you got to get
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, is
you
that
got to get back to the board.
You cannot judge the pacing in that, and you can't even judge. We're not judging it correctly.
That's true. That's true.
Because we're not watching the sex scenes.
That's true.
Because you know what? As much as anybody likes watching people fuck, sometimes those scenes fucking drag, dude. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, you're like,
it's true.
I've seen enough. Come on, dude. You know what I mean? Let's get to the story. And so
the fireworks factory.
Think about it. How much time did they cut off? This
Were there any
this edit?
Were any sex scenes like a story? Were there any like sex scenes that were story related that were removed? Or
okay, so
did you see it? Did you see the original?
Like, I went through the cast credits, right? Because it goes like scene by scene, right, to tell you who was in each scene. Which is why, like, it's what sent me down the rabbit hole, because there are 5 noted scenes, one between Deanna and Riker.
Yes, it's also really obvious in the fan edit when they're right about to start a sex scene.
Yeah, it's hilarious every time it happens. Okay, so there's one with Deanna Riker. There's 2 with, the second one is with Brahms and Geordi in the holodeck. 3 is Ro and Worf. 4 is Tasha from the other timeline and Data.
Yes.
And the 5th is Beverly and Picard. But here's what sent me down the rabbit hole of research. In the credits, it listed the actors for Beverly and Data again.
Oh.
But that's what made me go like, what? Does that mean Beverly had a scene with Data in the thing that we didn't see? Which is what made me like go research. Like, and it's no, it was just Picard. I think the credits are wrong.
Oh, it's just a mistake. Okay. Okay.
Well, there's no one keeps seeing the fucking, you know.
Yeah, so every single one of those sex scenes, I guessed just based on what's left in, including the Picard one, because there's a shot where at the end Picard's walking towards the window. There's a lot of space behind him. It seems like that's when Beverly would come up and start like seducing him from behind, and then everything else is like, yeah, clearly they cut away before the sex scene began, and like
my favorite thing. So let's start it off, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, Jean-Luc Picard. He's like, you know how like.
Did anyone else think Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
No. You know what? We joke around a lot about fucking Jason Statham, but this guy resembles Jason Statham more because this guy this guy has more of a Cockney fucking accent.
Yes,
it's not a refined fucking like English accent.
Yeah,
he's like, oh fuck, what's going on? You know, like he's really giving it
it does sound like if Jason Statham was trying to talk politely, that could be him a little bit more.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. He's like, oh mate, fuck you. Oh, pardon. And so he's badass, dude. Like this guy fucks literally. And
does he have any sex scenes? Because I was trying to figure that out.
At the end, Beverly. At the end is their sex scene. Yeah.
Okay, so at the end there is a Beverly
XXX, dude.
The one sex scene I was shocked that didn't happen is when he was like, everyone to the bridge, and they all meet on the bridge. I'm surprised there wasn't a bridge gangbang. Because everyone was there.
An orgy?
Yeah, well, they just weren't doing. They didn't do anything.
Gangbang is when a lot of dudes are with one
They
person.
needed a justification in the story, Marvin.
Well, I mean, I assumed
what's the justification?
What was the justification?
Deanna Riker is established. Brahms and Geordi is established. Ro and Worf had
Brahms and Geordi would not happen again.
Scene.
They would not. He would not do it again. He learned to not do that. So that means according to this story's canon, he is a piece of shit again.
Just because it's what you wanted to see doesn't mean that's what fits the story.
Like, I'm just saying that the scenes presented in this parody were like along the lines of, you know, what is believable in show canon.
To some extent. I mean, like Deanna Tasha is a bit odd. That would be odd.
So let's go through the
that didn't happen though. That's not a scene.
Right. Yeah.
So Captain Jean-Luc Picard is played by Giles Aston, right? Mm-hmm. And we're gonna get to some fun names. Tasha Yara is played by India Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Data is played by Xander Corvus.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Geordi LaForge is played by Tyler Knight, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Ensign Rowe, Dana Diarmond.
Okay.
My favorite name, Lieutenant Worf, Lee Bang, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
dude.
Nice.
He's also one of my favorite performances. He talks like
has
a
a
kung
great
fu
line.
guy.
Yeah.
His line is actually really good in that scene. I was like, oh, that's a good line.
Brahms is played by Bobby Starr.
Mhm.
Okay.
Counselor Deanna Troy, played by April O'Neil. Kimberly Kane plays Dr. Beverly Crusher.
Mhm.
And Joshua Brome plays William Riker.
Like I remember hearing about April O'Neil even from back then.
Rocco Reed. Sorry, Rocco Reed.
Like April O'Neil would stick out to me whenever like names of like porn star
Well,
lists.
it's a Ninja
names
Turtle
would-
character.
Yeah, because it's a Ninja Turtle character.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, April O'Neil. Oh, it's the porn April O'Neil. But not the porn April O'Neil, the porn April O'Neil.
Yeah. Here's the thing about porn and about film in general
Mhm.
is that you watch something and it's clearly like you're like, oh, so in film we've had like in cinema we've had, so it goes like this. It goes black and white talkies, right?
Mhm.
And then it goes 24 frames per second, right? And it's not sped up, right? Like the old like the general and
Technically,
stuff.
the older standards weren't sped up. They were designed to be projected at around 12 to 16 or 18 frames per second. And because modern projectors aren't variable, whenever they were played back, they would play at 24, which
All
is
right,
faster.
We know that. But then we have digital, and you could tell like, oh, well, this looks digital, so it has to be like maybe like late 90s, like, and you could immediately see like when it was done. And the same thing with like adult films, because adult films used to be filmed on film.
Oh,
back in
yeah.
the day. And
Mhm.
Oh,
they
yeah.
had like really good scores and shit.
The adult film industry propelled a lot of the technology used in Hollywood films and in movie distribution in general.
Yep.
Like a lot of online video was because of the porn film industry. The choosing of VHS over Betamax and the choosing of Blu-ray over HD DVD is because of the porn industry.
It's driving VR right now.
Yeah.
Porn is like the biggest driver of VR currently.
It's always on the cutting edge.
So
And
truly.
And so this like immediately like it basically like dates itself because of how it looks and stuff. And because like there was a time where they were doing a parody for everything.
Although I would have thought this would be earlier than 2011. I'm a little shocked that it is.
Yeah, 2011 is a little after the iron has cooled a bit on TNG, particularly.
Yeah.
But however, it was after
this isn't a
Abrams had
heyday.
resurged it.
But also this is the heyday of like a XXX parody. Do you mean?
There was a huge series of
Pirates of the
these.
Caribbean had a bunch of
Yes.
parodies.
Well, and just like to go into like this director writer's like back catalog, because it was also part of my research. He also did 2 parodies of X-Files called Sex Files.
Oh my god! I kind of want to see those now.
As well as a parody of Tron. And can you guess what that was called?
Prawn.
Just Prawn.
Got
Very
it.
good. Prawn. The triple
Got it.
parody.
With a 0 or no?
I don't know. I
You know
kind of
what?
hope not.
I actually, I have a lot of faith that these are actually pretty good programs. These are pretty good movies.
I mean, given the
Based on
quality,
this?
of this one,
I'm confident
actually
in Mr. Sam.
kind of interested in the Sex Files.
So
Yeah, I kind of just want to see like how did that turn out?
They've done like and it's a trend that's kind of continued, but one guy continued it, like the XXX parody. Like he has like big funding behind him, and he continued it. Like he does. There's a dude who did like Batman vs Superman, Deadpool, a XXX parody, and I want to say like 2 of the big movies he's done. Yeah, he's actually gotten the costume designers from the actual movie.
Oh,
to make the costumes. So like if you
Holy
watch
shit.
the costumes for Deadpool and then like the Batman vs Superman, they're
amazing.
Exactly the same. It's basically the same costumes, but with a different like logo.
Just to prevent the copyright.
Yeah, but like
that might be why their com badges aren't correct.
Oh yeah, like
it for
sets them up for.
I think that logo is copywritten.
And that's also probably why Jordy's wearing some funky sunglasses instead of an actual visor.
yeah, that his eyes are clearly looking through.
Well, also he's got to fucking those glasses, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the dude from Reading Rainbow never had to do any fucking with the visor, dude.
It's true. You got to see what you're doing.
Are you sure he didn't take it up in his personal life? Maybe someone was like, just put the visor on.
Do you have the visor?
Do you have the visor? Can you just?
Probably not.
I want both of us to wear the visor.
He's probably He probably has done it.
I can't see anything, man.
It's like you don't need to see anything.
I think if I'm being honest, I think he got more Reading Rainbow stuff than he did Star Trek.
Read me a book.
Can you sing me the song?
Can you sing me the song?
Butterfly in the sky.
He whispers
so
that.
Go twice as high.
So it's not like he was the original singer of the song.
I know, but that's what they want, though.
They associate.
Like after this movie, and then all the parodies that came after, there was a trend, and it still continues now, where like the hard pivot from adult films for a lot of these women is streaming now. So like this girl April O'Neil did like a hard pivot, like when she was at the height of her like popularity, she did a hard pivot to like pop culture, like streaming shit. So like she was posting a lot of stuff at Comic-Con. I actually saw her a lot of times at Comic-Con.
Oh really?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've heard about a few different like adult film stars that kind of like pivot for that. Like
for sure.
That's
happened a few different times. I remember it happened with like Sasha Grey.
Yeah.
Oh, Sasha Grey made a very specific effort.
She was in that movie though.
She's been in a lot of like indies.
And then there was also what's her face, the one that got like horribly injured by jumping.
Well, Sasha Grey specifically,
she broke her back.
Yeah, she needed surgery. Yeah. Well, it's a girlfriend experience, but Sasha Grey in particular tried to be in indie films a lot in general. It wasn't just a girlfriend experience. She's been in a lot of indie things.
She did a lot of horror, like, and not like B movie horror. Like she did a lot of like proper. What happened
to her? She fall off the radar?
No. She's
still active.
Again, she's streaming and doing like really well.
Yeah.
Like she's got a cooking channel now. Like she streams cooking stuff. Yeah. And
she's still involved in making indie films. That's her passion. So she like parlayed her work in the sex industry to be like.
Remember the girlfriend experience.
It also depends. She was also in a horror movie called Would You Rather that had like pretty decent stars around her. But a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these people, mostly women. The dudes, it seems like they don't take that hard pivot. But a lot of the women, you see a lot of them like streaming and doing something else, like Sasha Grey's doing the cooking show. Actually, OnlyFans has a cooking show now where they're like, there's no nudity or anything, but they have adult stars doing like a cooking like reality type show where like it's a reality challenge, like cooking stuff.
Right.
I feel like that could be a nice little in between jumping off point for these people to like go into a different industry, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they feel a lot of the smart people, a lot of the smart women, and there's a lot of them. They see like, okay, my like I can't do this forever. So like my shelf life is this to this. Okay, now before I get to this age, I got to pivot out and start making money, but somewhere else. And a lot of people are investing into like building their like streaming platforms and just pivoting into different types.
This
of
is
like,
extremely
industry.
similar to the career path of a wrestler. Like a professional wrestler would be like
Mickey Rourke, the wrestler.
Well, I mean, like a professional wrestler will literally be like, well, I can't wrestle forever.
Are you talking about the professional wrestler Triple X?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Triple H.
Actually, all pro athletes, really.
Because Triple H then like transitioned into, well, I'm going to work on the business side because I can't wrestle forever. Yeah. So I'm going to be
like all the players be like, well, should I go into coaching? Should I go into commentating? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like John Cena, Batista, and The Rock, they're all film stars now.
What these all have in common is they're all physical industries that kind of have a time limit that like, you can't continue for like physical
You can't be the young hot
reasons.
thing forever.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's a thing for everybody, right? But like, I mean, I think physically it's taxing on people.
It's a performance issue. You'll eventually just be unable to do it for.
Also, like, it's exhausting, dude.
Yeah.
It's
gotta be exhausting. Yeah.
It's physically my favorite thing is watching. There's weird like Instagram videos of like dudes telling their girlfriends like, you just keep humping and tell me how long you've done that for. And then she's like, that's like 2 minutes, and she's like, nope, that's 30 seconds.
Oh
So
my God.
it's like these dudes are like both women and men are like physically like, it's a physical thing, dude.
Yeah,
it's
very physical.
I would say, especially because some of them are doing it like every fucking day. So
yeah, and a lot of people, it's like, it's a day job, and I don't know about you, but there are some...
It's a full-time job.
Full-time job. Yeah, it's a day job, full-time job, but like, I don't know about you, but like, if you have like a bad day or you're just not emotionally there, like, I don't know, like, how do you like get yourself ready to be a good scene partner or something? Like, I don't know.
Well, that's the talent of these performers.
It is.
But this is also like why, like in a lot of physical industries that aren't well regulated, again, I compare to wrestling, drugs are a big issue in the sex industry. Just like in wrestling, where if you couldn't perform because you were in too much pain, you just took a ton of painkillers and then you start working. Same for the sex industry. Oh, I don't feel like performing today. Well, I'm going to get high and then I'll be able to perform.
What we should have done, dude? We fucked up, dude. We should have reached out to April O'Neil and been like, hey, do you want to come on and discuss this thing?
I didn't know who was in this. I just started watching.
I feel like maybe we're talking about careers, and I feel like I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but I once was offered to direct a
porn. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and I turned it down. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have.
I mean, they pay really well.
Yeah, I know. I should have. This was back in Florida, and I'm like,
really depends on what the offer was, because like whether or not you should take it really depends on who's offering.
Here's the thing.
At least on the at least back when I was starting my editorial editor industry, like a lot of my friends who were editors were like, oh, I take some porn jobs on the side because their editing they paid really well and on time, and they were punctual.
And you need editing all the time in that industry.
Yeah. So there's a podcast where it's a female director who like has a podcast, and she begs to differ that basically like every director, unless you're shooting on like a budget of this magnitude where it's a XXX Parody, which are very few that they produce.
But I think the industry is very different now. I think back when I started, it was very different. Yeah.
But like the podcast I'm talking about is this girl, Holly Randall, and her mom was in the sex industry as well. So she's like second generation, and she was talking about how she's like, it's directing, because she said she's talked to like people in mainstream film, and she's like, what people don't understand is that like a director, they think, oh, directing like an adult film, it's fun. He's like, but what you don't realize is that like because the budgets are so much less. He's like, the director is also the assistant director. They're also setting up. They're also the gaffer. They're also like helping with the lights.
It's very DIY.
Helping loading, and so he's like, so it's not. She's like, it's not a fun career. She's like, if it's not something that you're like, oh, this is going to be such a fun thing to do every day.
Well, yeah, one of my editor friends told me, and his warning for me to not get into this industry was that it ruined sex for him. Like for him, because when you're editing, you're down into the minutia of things, and then you're cutting and you're just looking at it for hours a day. And for him, he said like he literally doesn't get boners anymore. Like he finds sex very unappealing now. Like, because it's just really boring. And he was like, I'm worried that could happen to others. He says, like, I know that not everyone in his industry feels that way, but for him, it did. And he was like, I just fear that could happen to you. And I was like, okay, well.
What a wholesome man.
Yeah. What a
Thanks for the warning, bro.
Yeah. So let's get to it. Let's get to it, because we're not.
It's a short story. So
yeah. So this and really, it's not much that we're talking about the story. It's more like that we're talking about what's surrounding it. All right.
Yeah.
So,
which is fascinating in its own right. Yeah. It's a.
So it starts off, and Data and the Away crew find they find like a pod, and it has Tasha Yara in it, the body.
Oh, speaking of which, wait, hang on.
Ricardo, could you please tell us what happened in this episode?
Maybe have to be she her character's in the episode. We have to.
Yeah, she deserves to listen.
Yeah. And it starts off, and they find her body in a pod, and they bring it up, and then the credits roll, and then the next scene immediately is Riker and Troy are in the simulator. Holodeck, yeah. They're in the holodeck, and they're like, she's like, "Whoa, Tasha Yar's, she's sleeping a lot. She's recovering, blah blah." And then Riker's like, "Oh, well, like basically like, why are you here?" He's like, "Well, I didn't want to break our date."
And hard cut.
Oh, can I just mention one thing? I was just thinking to myself, the casting is like not half bad.
It's okay. Yeah.
Like
they found decent analogs for most.
It's a swarthier Riker. But
like Data looks kind of like Rami Malek, but okay.
I mean, it's fine. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at Data's performance. He actually was
fine.
Quite good.
He won an award for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, I actually really liked him. Yeah. He might have been my favorite next to...
you know what his performance reminded me of? Data's performance reminded me of the kid who tried to act like Data.
Oh,
yeah.
The
little
cadence and the way he would... Yeah, little cholo kid.
Just without the head twitching.
Yes, less head twitching, but his like the way he delivered lines was fairly similar to me.
It worked. It was fine.
So props to the casting crew on this one.
I could suspend my disbelief and go, I'm watching a TNG thing. It's fine.
Yeah, it's an android.
Here's the crappy part about this thing, is that sometimes editing's so well done that you don't know where the sex scene was cut from.
Oh, I knew exactly though every time.
I mean,
it was a hard cut.
I think there were a couple of times where I got faked out thinking, really was there a sex scene? And then there's like, no, not really one.
Yeah, like when there's a hard cutting, I get it, but like sometimes you're like, the scene starts and you're like, was the sex scene before, or is it going to be after this? So anyway, so then Troy goes to see Yar, Lieutenant Yar. Was it Lieutenant? Commander Yar?
It would have been Lieutenant.
Yeah,
but
Lieutenant,
I mean, this Tasha isn't actually Lieutenant.
Yeah. So basically, she's like, "Hey, I know I'm from a different timeline, and like we're fighting the Romulans, and like we hate the Romulans." In fact, when she sees what's his face?
Data?
No,
Worf.
Worf. Yeah, she's like, "What the fuck
she's
is this
racist
guy doing
against
here?"
Klingons. Yeah,
she's racist, dude. She's like,
she's like Scotty.
Yeah.
Everyone's racist against Worf.
Yeah.
I mean, for reasons that are understandable.
So the dude playing Picard, like he looks the part, but as soon as he opens up, like, and he's got the thick, like, it's not full on Cockney, but it's like it's more street, like
yeah, it's not like that. It's not like that
refined.
Queen. It's not the Queen's accent, like Patrick Stewart has a very like
a Shakespearean accent.
Yeah, like the Queen's kind of like English British, a very like refined, rounded. Yeah, this is different.
My favorite thing is okay, so there's probably like a Data Tasha sex scene, right? And then there's a scene where like she sees Worf and they're gonna fight, and Worf has no shirt on. Oh. And this dude is way more buff than the guy who plays Worf. He's fucking just built, dude.
Oh yeah.
And I like his his mustache is like a weird reverse. It seems like they got this from one of the Shaw Brothers movies, dude. This beard, dude. It felt like he was gonna do like a flying guillotine kick and shit.
Well, it's a Fu Manchu, which is what Klingons used to have. And
so is that what they used to have in the old shows?
Yes, and they still do in TNG. A lot of Klingons still have Fu Manchus. It's just because their design is so wildly different with the forehead ridges and all that, you don't really focus on the mustache as much. But in the original series, they were clearly just like Mongolian/Chinese people.
Yeah, it was the whole racist caricature.
What are they called again?
Like a Fu Manchu.
No. The race Klingons. Yeah.
Or Worfians, if you like.
I was trying to say Worfians. So the Worfians, they're kind of like predators, dude. Like basically like the predators, the mandibles are the same, but like their faces are wildly different. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like this is kind of like the same thing. Like their mustaches and like facial hair is kind of the same, and the ridges on their forehead, but everything else is wildly different.
It's exactly the same as a predator.
Yeah, exactly the same as a predator. Dude, you know what I think somebody did. Was I high, or did somebody send us like?
Yes, you were high.
I was high. I mean, I was high, but like, did someone send us a Predator versus like Star Trek thing?
No.
No,
Uh,
there should be, dude.
I don't think
There should
so.
be.
I'm sure it exists. I feel like I've seen a cover.
Is the aquarium in Picard's ready room just a projection?
I think
It
so.
looks
Yeah.
like
Just
it.
a light.
Yeah.
On
Yes,
the wall.
Yeah.
But the other thing about
What a funny solve.
I mean, it's great. They're
That's not
fucking
bad.
problem solving on
It's not
set.
bad.
Yeah,
it works.
the funny thing about Worf is his hair too. His hair is
Oh my
crazy.
God.
It's really big.
The wigs
yeah.
in this
Yeah, he's got like
little
Al
movie.
Sharpton hair.
It's pretty
So they
bad.
didn't do the thing they do in the show where they kind of like cover up the top of his head with an appliance as well, and then have the hair growing back from that. They just kind of stopped the appliance where his hairline really is, and then just gave him a big old wig on top of that.
So I remember some of these names, like Bobby Starr. I remember that name.
Mhm.
I remember April O'Neil. I remember Dean D'Armond. I mean, I feel like she's still like popular.
Possibly, yeah.
So the scenes, should we name them as we go? So it's Data and Tasha, right? That's one sex scene, right?
Mhm.
Well, that's near the end. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't happen in the beginning.
No, that's near the
Nope.
end. That's
Oh,
after
okay.
Data. So basically the order of events is that
I mean, I already went through them, but
yeah. But the story order of events is that Tasha's back. You're not sure why she's back. And then Tasha gets into a tiff with Worf because Worf is like, "You're not the Tasha I know. To me, I thought that was a badass line where he's like, "To me, I'm still mourning the death of my friend." Like, of course, Worf
no,
would be
yeah,
like this.
like in my notes, I have it written down as "You are not her. You suck so much."
So you have that, and that's when she goes back to her room,
Yeah.
and Data is like, "How are you?"
I thought there was a sex scene there. See.
No, yeah. The
Yeah,
scene.
there's
Yeah,
a
that's
sex
that's
scene
when
there.
it
there is.
happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when and that I believe this sex scene, a little part of it is in the trailer if you want to take a peep.
Yeah, there's you see some of the
You see enough.
yeah.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
Also, Geordi. Then there's a scene with like Geordi and Brahms.
Brahms, yeah.
He's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm gonna need to study." They love the word tachyon, by the way. Tachyon is said like
They
40
say
times.
Tachyon so many times. dude.
However, I
feel
do
like the
think
director-
I do think that they focused on tachyons because isn't that how Romulans usually do their shit?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
why it ended up working.
Tachyon.
But I
Yeah.
feel like the director was like, anytime you forget a line, just say tachyon. And they're like, got it. So these goddamn tachyons.
That's what they say in the actual show too. They tell the
That's
actors,
probably-
Hey
if you're
man,
forgetting the lingo, it's a tachyon field.
kudos to Bobby Starr for slinging all that jargon. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
usually not a
Yeah.
porn star's job.
It worked. Yeah.
No, everyone did fantastic. I actually thought the writing, I mean, some of this writing was better than some really shitty Star Trek episodes, to be honest. Like the Worf line that you referenced earlier, like I thought that was a really
That was great. I
scene.
immediately was like, "Wow, this is a great
Yeah.
encapsulation of why Worf would be different from the rest of the crew."
Yeah,
in
it was
doing
really
this. I was like,
Oh, yeah,
it was
it's
really
true.
complex, you know?
No, did
I
anybody
like that.
watch?
and I like this. I like that Ro is being trained by Worf. I think that's
Yeah.
a cool character thing.
That
I think
makes sense for those characters, honestly.
I would love to see that in the actual show. Like Ro, like more actively being a member of the crew and like learning from other crew members.
And that's
kinda
also
neat,
better
yeah.
martial arts than we've seen in the show
Yeah.
Absolutely.
for Worf training others in his gi.
Yeah. It wasn't
Also-
Tai Chi. It's like actual like punching and stuff.
The guy playing Geordi is
Uh-huh.
fucking
Oh,
ripped too. He's ripped.
yes.
Yeah, he's
Also-
that's the most ripped Geordie's ever been.
Yeah. And also his glasses are straight out of like the dude from Mannequin.
yeah.
Geordie's character was also pretty good acting. He got the essence of Geordie.
Yeah.
I thought
Okay, there's like
pretty
a
well.
little detail I noticed. When he got excited that Leia Brahms explaining something, he like pointed to her. And I feel like that's what Geordie would do in the show when he gets
Yeah.
excited. He goes, "That's right." You know, like he would say something like that.
He does.
Yeah,
Geordie
yeah,
like
totally
he
does the point
completes
thing.
like the thought that she's leading toward. Like it's an
Yeah,
actual collaborative like dialogue
Yeah.
scene the way they used to do it. It's
And I was
great.
like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
did you like are you maybe they're all TNG fans?" And then they
I
were
think
like
a lot of them are. I think I was kind of reading online a little bit that a lot of the cast was pretty excited to do this because I think one person in particular actually did have a crush on the character Picard growing up. So they're very excited to
Oh.
fuck Picard, you know.
"Wow."
It was very
Sure.
nice.
Well, all right. Well,
It was they were very excited to
I've-
be involved.
Marvin, we need to get this fucking DVD because I need to know if Worf has two dicks in the sex scene.
Oh, I wanted to know that.
Oh, you know
too.
what?
Yeah.
I was able to find through like thumbnail based research that it looks like they actually tried. They made an attempt.
They
Oh
made
my
No,
that
God.
I'm not talking about Worf here. I'm talking about
Aw.
Data. They at least least attempted to color his skin completely.
Wow.
Okay.
That's fascinating.
And now that guy has cancer.
So,
Probably.
oh God.
Rest
Like
in
his,
peace, Xander.
like wait, like his D too. His D
Yeah.
is
Well, you gotta.
okay.
From what I could tell, like they tried.
From the screenshots,
They tried.
They
You gotta.
tried.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like hair and makeup that day, or makeup was actually? You know what? I can't even be. I have done dick makeup.
Oh, yes.
So I cannot even deny that I've been there, done that. So I can't even.
Who did you
Can't
do
even-
makeup on?
I was on set for not the porn that I did not direct, but for another movie.
For another
That-
porn?
Well, it was like a horror.
It's like a
It's
sex horror film.
A sex
right?
horror film, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did have to like,
But you did makeup on a dick?
yes, I did. And
Mhm.
a prosthetic.
Mm.
Ah.
It ended up being like makeup on the dick. And then I had to install like a prosthetic spiky dick thing.
Hmm.
So it was very interesting. I remember we were very professional. There was nothing like, it was a very professional set, nothing weird. But I was just sitting here thinking like, imagine what it's like to put makeup on. Oh, wait. I've been there, done that. So
But you didn't put actual makeup on a dick. You put it on the prosthetic.
I did both.
You
There was
put
two
makeup
different.
on a dick too.
Yeah, there was two different
wow.
kind of scenes. Like that was one of it because the
mhm.
dick turns into the spiky.
God.
Oh,
type
was there
thing.
like an element of like needing to match?
Yes, and like also just like for the scenes before pre-spike. Anyway, yeah,
Got it.
it was fun. It was a really good set. But yes,
Hmm.
makeup people have to do all sorts of fun things.
Yeah.
This set included, I'm sure.
And they solve this episode like Star Trek solves every episode. They shoot stuff
Yep.
at something.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
I mean, overall, it was fun. I mean, I'm just talking about the edited version,
Right.
dude. I really want to know how you're talking about over an hour of extra footage of the fucking dude.
Hour and a
I know.
half.
We're missing
Yeah.
a lot.
And I think, look, I like to watch porno as much as the next guy or person. They
They,
them.
yep.
But I think this is too tiresome to sit through. I feel like I would just be like, okay, I saw enough. This is good. All right, I'm going to forward to the next thing.
Well, I wonder if it's because
Mm.
during this era when you're buying physical media for porn, you probably want to get your money's worth in terms of length.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
probably
yeah,
why,
dude.
you know.
Yeah, dude.
they
But
give
like,
the full
real
2 hours.
question: do you need like an hour and a half?
Well,
You don't know.
Honestly,
You don't know.
I feel like this just all begs
What
the question
is-
for like, who is this sort of thing actually for?
It's for the director. It's for Sam Hain.
Okay, yes,
No.
that is the true answer. But I mean, like in terms of like an audience, it's like this did find an audience though.
Yeah.
I could see
But
who
this was
would be
also
for.
in
I
an
could
era
see.
when
Yeah.
like the internet already existed,
Mhm.
and you know the internet is for porn is a truism that's been true like since.
But has it been
since before then?
this well done? I think this is a top tier. Maybe
Well,
there's other Star
Well,
Trek.
I'm not talking about
parodies,
how
but
well this
pretty
is
good.
done. I guess I'm just thinking like the whole. If you are buying this, you want your money's worth. Like,
Okay, so yeah, expanding on what Dan said, do you think is a TNG fan discovering like, oh shit, dude, they did a XXX parody, I got to get this, and now
Mhm.
are those people? I want my money's worth of sex, or I want my money's worth of story.
that's a
both.
good question.
Maybe
I think
both.
you
Yeah.
get both.
Honestly,
I think you
that's
get
a good
both.
question.
I think you get
there
both
are probably
in this.
some
Little
fans
both,
who
little
wanted
both,
more of either.
I think you get both in this. I mean, if the longer version is if this is representative of that, I think.
Well, the
you would
longer
get
version
both.
seems to imply that it's way more sex than it is story because it's an
Well,
hour.
But
and a half.
sometimes there's story within sex, my man. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
we don't-
I
we're
wonder.
missing
That's what I'm wondering.
crucial plot
Like,
points, man.
well, from what I had read that Sam Hain, when he was making this, intentionally made it so that the sex scenes are pretty separate, so that if he wanted to, he could remove them, and it would be a comprehensible fan film on its own right. So that does make me wonder if it was all like there was supposed to be story in the sex more specifically, because as it stands without it, it's a pretty succinct story on its own.
I'm
It's
not gonna
clearly
lie.
comprehensive.
I'm going to be honest about my porn habits here.
Okay.
I feel the same way I do about musicals as I do about porn.
And how's
I
that?
don't like people just like randomly going into fucking song, and I don't like people
Mm.
randomly going into sex. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
Sure.
So does it
That's-
have to like make sense?
Like you want,
It has
like
to
you
make
want
sense
it,
for me.
So if
So here's the two options for me.
Mhm.
I just want to watch the sex. So you just watch a scene that's just people boning. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's no story.
Yeah.
Right.
Once you add the story, it's a musical for me, but with people fucking. Literally.
Mm.
And
so like just like a musical where their emotions get so big. Instead of singing, they have to have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get exactly what you mean by that analogy, though, Ricardo.
Yeah, because
right?
like in a good musical,
it takes me out of it. It takes me out of it. It's like some of these parodies that are actually kind of like cool, and then it takes me out of it. I'm like, oh, great.
I mean, honestly, that's how I feel about HBO shows in general sometimes.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
No, like I get to I'm watching a show and suddenly it'll get to a sex scene. And I'm like, I don't need this part. I don't fucking need this part.
I can see that. I can see that.
I mean, that was one of my criticisms about Westworld, especially the first season. Well, I've only seen the first season, but the first season, it was just be like, oh, okay, we're going to talk about AI and like, you know, are these guys sentient or not? Oh, like there's nude people. And then like, I remember one scene in particular, Anthony Hopkins' character seems completely out of character because he's usually like well-spoken and calm, but he runs into a scene and he like tears the blanket off of a robot. He's like, what are you doing covering these people up? These are things. Like tears their clothes off so they're naked. And you're like, what the fuck? That came out of nowhere. Like I do feel like there is some sort of mandate to be like, show the titties, make sure we see it. We're an HBO show, and you know, and like speaking to the point about the musicals, I think like a good musical.
That statement's wrong.
What?
There are no good musicals.
Well, that's you're full of shit. Again, a good musical, the song is part of the story. Like the song isn't just to have a song. There's either exposition in it or it's to explain a character's feelings that progresses throughout the song. It's not just I'm sad. It's I'm sad and I'm trying to work this out. Like in Disney musicals, there tends to be the I want song, which is like, oh, I am singing this because I need, as a character, need to get across my ambitions that will carry me through the show. And
that's why I hate Disney fucking movies, dude.
Why?
Because they break into this. It's like a small musical. Like
they are literally music. They're not a small musical. They are musicals.
Aladdin's cool until they bring in the fucking song, dude.
No, it's not. It's cool with the songs.
You don't like
You're so full of shit.
Dude.
You're full of shit. Oh, are you complaining Mulan had musical numbers as well? Oh
I hate Mulan, dude.
This is the same guy who hates the Muppets and Pixar movies, everybody. So this all tracks.
Like, none of this is surprising.
This is fine. Again, I like it like this. I'm curious to see, because I'm telling you, dude, once you add the sex, it's going to fucking drag. And we would have a different feeling about this.
Honestly, you probably would. Yeah.
No, yeah. Absolutely. You are absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could be interesting. I think I'm open to it.
You just want to watch fucking Riker's dick, dude. Calm down.
Yeah. I mean, also, I think to explain the length a little bit, they probably.
Whoa.
Yes. They explain the length. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Okay, to explain that, the length of the full length movie. Mm-hmm. They probably want to give each couple and each character their really good sex scenes. Like you're gonna have your your matchups that are gonna be like, oh yes, we finally see Geordi and Brahms fuck. You know, we finally see Picard and you got to give everyone.
Oh yeah, there's an element of like fan/fic sort of fulfillment for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is fanficky stuff for sure.
I feel like we let the people down for this episode because we should have seen this one like this, and then on a separate viewing, watch the one with the sex
I just
scenes.
assumed it would be easy to find the full version.
I thought so too,
it is not.
but it's not easy.
Now, here's another question. Do you think, specifically the Data one, do you think he's fucking in character or he breaks character?
Ooh, no, he stays in character.
I would imagine, given how much
I feel like if he got an award for it, he shouldn't break character.
Yeah, he's probably totally in character.
Yeah.
And that's part of the appeal. You don't want them to just start fucking like regular people. You want Data fucking
that's my complaint
Yar.
about other videos.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
parodies.
he was trained or he knows all these techniques, right? And he's willing to suddenly mimic normal human movements and mannerisms at will if that is what the situation calls for. So there is a explanation. There's a way to weasel out of it if he does act like a normal porn guy.
But it would be amazing if he stayed as Data.
That would be preferable.
Yes.
I mean, what does that look like to you? What do you mean stay as Data?
He's a beep boop beep boop.
Like he's not like smiling and moaning.
Symmetrical piston thrusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, his rhythm is perfect.
Oh
Like
my
there's
gosh.
no
Perfect timing,
Frame
dude.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know.
Well, we don't know. We'll never know. We got to see the
We
full
will
length.
know when
We
Marvin
gotta
orders
see-
his $25 video, dude.
I will. I will
gotta
use that. I
figure
will use
out-
our petty cash to buy it.
Yes, dude. Yeah. Bill it
Oh
to
my God.
ExpressVPN. It's the best VPN.
Well, we never talked about. So the ending is. It turns out it was a Romulan ploy. Sayla shows up.
I think
Yeah,
actually
Sela
this
actually
scene
shows
is
up, and
amazing.
her costume's pretty freaking
It's-
sick.
no,
Like,
this
it's
whole
pretty
scene's
accurate.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the best costumes in the episode. Yeah.
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 And then it turns out the Tachyons is a transmission. She was a sleeper agent the whole time. And then Data cuts off the Tachyon field or whatever transmission.
all the
And
tachyons.
and Tasha gets to run security the security and like phasers one last time. I think that was the point.
Yes.
Is that she gets to run the ship defenses one last time, and then she dies. And then it's cool because it's an actual sentimental ending where she says Data, and then she dies, and then Data goes, "Why did she say my name?" And then Picard like tries to explain to him, and it's like it's cool. Like
I actually really like
it's
that.
along the lines of what the show would do.
and they even make a callback to the fucking flute from the Inner
yeah,
Light.
they
I
do,
was so
they do.
surprised when it got out the goddamn flute. I was like, "Holy shit!"
It's the wrong color, but he has a flute.
I mean, still though, I'm like, "Damn!" Like,
I know.
The idea
these guys
was
are
there.
fans.
yeah.
Do you now another question here? Do you think he played the flute while he fucked Beverly?
Or use the flute.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was saying like, don't play the flute, use the flute.
Well,
Do you think he used it?
it's possible. We'll have to buy
Gotta
the
blow
DVD.
something.
Does he
to
let other
find
people
out.
play his flute? We'll never know.
And it's a
We'll never
sentimental
know.
ending at the end when he's looking out the window and he's legitimately like,
Yeah,
like
then
some
you hear
things are
Tears
not
of a
meant to
Clown
be.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some things are just not meant to be. And
So this was clearly Sam is clearly a TNG fan.
oh yeah,
A
yeah.
Star
Oh,
Trek
absolutely.
fan.
Yeah.
Clearly, because there's so many elements here that
The details.
you have to. The details are there. The dialogue is there. The
Okay.
structure is there.
I do want to say one thing about Tasha, though. Well, two things about Tasha. One, her actor reminds me of Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks. I just want to say that.
Oh, okay.
Two,
Okay.
the fact that they gave her long hair was kind of a weird choice to me.
Well, I
Like-
think it's because
Well, I get that it makes perfect sense for her to look different, but I do think that since you don't actually have Denise Crosby at your disposal, you might as well go for something recognizable.
I think it's entirely because unless you're a really, really good hair person, it's hard to put short hair on as a wig on a woman with long hair.
Yeah, it's hard to
I guess
hide
that's
the long
true.
hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would have come down to the talent and
looked
what
like a
they're willing to
mullet.
do with their hair.
Yeah, so I think that's why they ended up doing that. Because it's otherwise like applying a bald cap on someone with
It's so hard.
full hair correctly and then putting short hair wig on is very, very difficult. So
Yeah.
I imagine they were like, just fuck it, just give her long hair. She's been in our world for 10 years. So she would just have a different hairstyle. And, I think that's fine. I think it makes sense, or it's okay for characters to just look a little different from show to show. It's just a solve. I think it works.
No, everyone else was dead on in this.
Like I think that was the one thing that kept on taking me out because I had to remind myself, like, oh yeah, that's supposed to be Tasha. That's supposed to be Tasha.
Well, because everyone else is as we know them, but Tasha.
Well,
would,
yeah, exactly. She was the only one who
story-wise be
didn't
different,
look
yeah.
visually similar, like at a glance. So
Yeah, it's the same reason why Worf's hair isn't exactly like Michael Dorn's.
Hell
would be.
yeah.
You don't say, Marvin. It's not
Yeah.
exact. You
Yeah,
don't
it's,
fucking say.
it's just hard.
You know
It's
whose
really
hair was
hard.
spot on?
It's really
Jean-Luc
hard.
Picard.
Oh, I mean, he was
was
just willing to
spot
shave
on.
his
his bald
head.
cap is amazing.
Wait, what do we think about like a deeper skin tone Riker here? Like he
The
seems
swarthy
like he's
Riker?
almost like I
Like
don't know
the
if
most
he's
interesting
like
Riker in the world.
yeah I can't tell what
He
what
drinks
ethnicity
Tres
this
Equis.
guy is. I don't know if he's just like a very
he does
tan
kind of look like a
European
pirate.
or like a I don't know. I'm not sure, but definitely a different spin to Riker that I don't hate. It's not
He's
bad.
all right. Like he's
He's
barely in the episode, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I said
this
earlier,
is all
every
about
time he
Data.
opens his mouth, that kind of sounds Riker-y.
Yeah,
Good
it
for you.
does. It does.
It is. They definitely casted it to make sure Data was working.
Oh,
Yes.
Data was completely the star.
This was
Yeah.
the Data show.
This is a
It
Data
was
show.
He was really good, and I understand why this actor.
It
won
was
the
like kind of a
award.
shock when Beverly kind of showed up at the end out of nowhere. We're like, oh shit, Beverly's here.
Yeah. So like at first I thought like, oh, okay, so like clearly this is just a setup for, a gratuitous sex scene. But then they do the hand holding thing and then they
Mhm.
let go and I was like, oh, nothing's happening. And then she leaves, and I was like, "Oh, nothing happened."
Oh, but then there's a.
But then he goes to the window and is like, "Oh, okay,
yeah, that's where they would have. That's where they would have done.
So by the way, Xander Corvus, the guy who plays Data, he's also played Kylo Ren in the Star Wars parody.
Oh shit!
Perfect.
And
he could do that.
Peter Parker.
This guy's in demand. This guy's in high demand.
Yeah.
Oh, because he did so well.
I want to follow his whole career now.
Yeah, we are fans of you.
Oh, they should put him in the next Spider-Verse
you know what?
movie.
I do want to see if his acting improves. He might be getting better at it.
He might be in the Spider-Verse movie.
But let's put him in there. Let's have him in there as one of the alternate Spider-Man.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be sick.
Maybe he already was.
He could have been. We just didn't see. That would have been amazing.
It's very possible.
Well, what do we want to score? How do we score? Do we score it on the merits of what we see?
There's only one score this ever gets, Marvin, and Ricardo knows what score it is.
Yeah, 69, dude.
Let's give it a 6.9.
I mean, I will actually give it an 8. I think it's quite good.
I gave it an 8 as well. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah,
6.9.
I'm right there with you, Ricardo. I honestly think that's a fair score to give.
Or a 9.6. Which
no, it ain't that
good. Yeah, it wasn't that good, but better than some TNG episodes.
Oh,
honestly.
for sure.
Yeah, like I mean,
absolutely.
props in general to everything about it, like the production design, the sets they built,
the sets
the
are
costumes
really good.
are so like for the most part really on point.
They're
I mean, compare
bad.
this episode to like The Child. Let's say like this is way better than The Child. This is way better.
I'd watch this with a child any day.
Yeah, this is definitely better than like
fucking Shades of Grey.
The fucking clip show. The clip show that
I want to see the baby making, not the baby.
It was not bad. Not bad at all.
Damn, this guy also was in a movie called My Vengeful Valentine. It's probably a fucking My Bloody Valentine like parody.
Or it's just a movie.
This guy's doing work, dude. Doing God's work,
dude.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He also did Blow, a XXX parody.
Oh my god!
What is that? A XXX parody?
Oh, he also was in the XXX parody.
They call it XXX a XXX parody.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, you got to do it for the title alone.
Oh my god!
Like you have to do it.
Oh no! No! This is an X-Men parody. He plays Cyclops.
X-Men.
Cyclops.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
XXX-Men. Yeah.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nice. He's working.
Yeah.
The working actor.
I hope that this started a career for him as like the porn parody guy. And
well, this
it already has. He already has one.
Yeah.
I think a somewhat similar story has happened in Japan, where like a guy who was like super into Sentai, like ended up making a porn like his dream like Sentai project, but he had to do it within the confines of porn.
Okay. I wonder how often this happens in the porn industry.
I think it happens a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it probably happens a lot.
Oh,
he's also Green Lantern in the Justice League XXX parody.
Nice.
Hey, if you're a listener working in the sex industry who once had dreams of doing narrative, let us know.
Yeah.
Please email us.
This is
obviously we love the sex industry, sex workers. We respect you guys.
The guy who does all the XXX parodies.
Let us know.
The really big ones, the ones I was telling you guys about, the costume ones.
Yeah.
His name is Axel Brahm.
Not
Brahm.
Oh, all right.
Brahm the boy too.
Yeah. So it's like Justice League XXX, an Axel Brahm parody.
Oh,
so
okay. So
he puts his name
billing.
Yeah,
he gets real poster billing. That's crazy.
Does he star in them all?
No, he's just the director, but he's like it's kind of like
sought out. He's a name.
He's a Tarantino dude. He's
a name.
Wait,
like a Spike Lee joint. Like a Spike Lee joint, dude.
Do you remember all of the This Ain't Blank parodies as well?
Yes, I remember those.
Who made those?
Competing.
That's a deeper, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But so like there's Ghostbusters, a XXX parody.
Of
so
course,
there's different. There's a lot of big companies doing the XXX parodies.
All right.
Bustin' does make me feel good.
Yeah.
Bustin' Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
He played Spider-Man again in Avengers vs. X-Men, an Axel Brahm parody.
Wow.
Oh, that's sick. That'd be a fun one to watch.
They keep getting him on these movies, dude.
He's so good.
He's just a great actor, dude.
He must have a really great dick.
He's a Sam Rockwell of the porn industry.
He's
I also one fun detail. I do like that they're always doing this at the Vasquez Rocks. They're just always there for all the outdoor scenes.
Why not?
Yeah, it's great.
It's tradition.
It's a classic Star Trek location. So,
oh my god, guys, he played Brian in This Ain't Fast and the Furious XXX Parody.
Who's Brian though?
There's
Brian.
Brian is Pablo, dude.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen this.
Okay, have there been any parodies where he's had to sub in for Rami Malek's character?
Oh, he's in a he's
there's one called Mr. Anal. That could be Mr.
That could be Mr. Robot. That could be a Mr. Robot
You might be
parody.
right.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You might be right.
It's very possible.
It's
If
very
it is, that would be
possible.
crazy.
I think it is, dude.
No.
I think it is.
No.
Please
Does
let
he
this
play
be
Mr.
actually
Robot?
real. I need this confirmed while we
Wait,
are.
no, the
while
Mr.
we are
Robot's a
recording.
different character in the
Well,
show. It's not Rami
so
Malek.
Mr. Anal is a series that this says it's 154 episodes, so it's gotta
Holy
be
shit.
It's gotta be like little short vignettes that are like.
Okay, never mind. That's probably not the same thing.
You don't think so?
No, I can't.
That's probably a running series of a guy who does anal in general.
Like you can't stretch a parody out that far.
Yeah,
That'd be cool though.
Yeah.
Mr. Anal.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
It'd be really cool if you did, man.
Oh my god.
You know what I would love? A Con Air parody.
That's
I
gotta
love that.
Cock
That's
Air.
gotta exist.
You know?
It's gotta exist.
Cock Air, a XXX parody.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our little April Fool's foray into essentially fan content. It's good fan content. This was good.
This was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sam LeBrock, or what's his name?
Sam
director?
Hain.
Sam Hain.
Yeah, this
Sam
guy,
Hain.
he's a real fan. We should have got him, dude.
We should
I
have
bet you we could have got him on, dude.
Oh, we definitely
Maybe we could ask him to come on. We could ask him maybe. I don't know.
Reach out. We'll find a way to reach
yeah,
out.
it is very clear he is a fan. Like,
Yeah.
it's better than some actual episodes of TNG.
And he's a true fan.
Yes.
Yeah. Like True Blood, but true fan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking in that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, all right. Well, I guess we usually do like fugitiveframes.com, contact at newbiestartrek.com, but you guys know to do that. And, we'll see you guys next
Become
time.
a member.
Become a member of the channel.
Yeah, become a member.
If you
And
like
I
this.
just before we go, I want to say the porn industry is being brave. They're going out there and they're doing things that we want to see.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
made a movie called Superman versus Spider-Man, a
yo.
XXX parody.
Mm.
That's what fucking DC is.
They're
got to
doing
give
death
Marvel.
battles, but in the porn industry.
Yeah, dude.
I love it.
But over here at WB and fucking Marvel, they're fucking cowards, dude.
Now that
That piece
Rooster
of
Teeth
shit
has
Kevin-
been killed
Kevin
by
Feige?
WB.
Coward, dude.
So this is
He's
the new meta.
He's
This
no
is the new
Axel
death
Braun,
battle.
dude.
Yeah.
He's no Axel Braun.
No.
Yeah, I
Death
love
battle will transfer over to the porn industry and we'll start. We'll
There's
have
a-
who would win between Goku and Superman.
There's an American Dad parody, guys.
Well, that was bound to happen.
Epic fuck battles of history.
So Marvin, can you explain what happens when you become a member? What do you get?
You get early access to new
And how
episodes.
much?
It's only $1.99. Early access
You
to
don't
new
say.
episodes. And ad free. There's no YouTube ads on them if you want to listen to them that way.
Yeah, but the ads that come out of our own mouths, you'll still hear.
Yeah. Well, people voted to keep them in. We asked. And it was
Yeah, I
actually
know.
It was actually
I'm just
kind of.
saying, like, I do want to make that clear.
I know,
though.
I know.
Whenever we say ad free, that always makes me think like.
But it was overwhelmingly actually people.
And we're
said
going to be
keep them
doing
in.
some more fun stuff if you become a member. So
We'll
join.
do stuff.
see what it's all about.
Or don't. It's up to you.
$1.99.
This is a free country, and you can watch any porn parody you want to, dude.
That's
and
true.
join the YouTube channel if you want to.
That's true.
Um,
Join the channel, then tell us what your favorite porn parody is, and if you think there are any better Star Trek porn parodies than
Yeah.
this. Is it possible that there's one that's even better than
Yeah,
this?
let us know if
Let
you
us
know
know.
Yeah.
one.
And let us know if you know Corey Haim, the director of this porn
Sam
parody.
Hain.
Sam
Yeah.
Hain.
Corey Haim
Sam
is a
Hain.
different guy.
Is he dead?
I believe he died. Maybe Corey
Okay.
Haim. But Sam Hain seems
His
to still
brother?
be around. No, Hain with an N, not an M.
Oh,
So
I was way off.
Yeah,
maybe Sam Hain listens to this. If you listen to this,
Sam,
you did a great
get
job.
at us, dude. We need to know about a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Contact at newbiestartrek.com.
Please reach out, man.
Reach out if you're there. But
maybe we know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah.
All right, next week we'll actually watch Schisms. I know we threw everyone for a loop. All right, we'll see you guys around. Goodbye, everybody.
I just want to say that every so often, Deanna's hair was comically big. I was laughing at it sometimes.
It was beautifully large. Beautiful.
That's all. Goodbye, everybody.